This is Balaji Gopalan. Welcome once again to the MedStack podcast, where we introduce the world to some exciting digital health companies, which is the best part of my day for sure. I'm really happy to have Jennifer here from Blawesome, a company I met a few months ago and have been watching their progress over the past few months. Rapid progress in the field of connecting people to wellness professionals. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So I'm really excited about what you guys do. And I got to say, one of the many reasons I'm excited about what you guys do is your company has a fantastic name. It's very clever. I love it. So I want to ask you about that. But let's start by introduce the world to Blawesome. Where did the idea come from? And what motivated you to pursue this? And what does the product do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background, I built and ran a corporate wellness business, serving thousands of people in schools and hospitals and offices for 10 years. So that's what I was doing. And the idea for Blawesome came from after many years of working at the Montreal Children's Hospital. I taught wellness and complementary care to teens with eating disorders there. I'd go every week and do different practices where the parents were in workshops with doctors and learning how these teens could take better care of themselves. And every week, the families and even the medical staff would ask me, like, Jen, in between sessions, like, where can we learn about holistic wellness? Because we're so in like the medical world, which is awesome, but we want some like complementary, like other things to do. And I knew of a lot of amazing wellness creators and amazing teachers and coaches and all sorts of, fitness trainers, yoga teachers, meditation teachers like myself. And the teams, though, when I would work with them, they were saying that a lot of the content on traditional social media platforms were really not for their mental well-being. And all the content creators that I knew were on these platforms, myself included, and I love them. And this isn't any way to knock them, but I started to ask myself, like, I wonder if there's just more of a curated place. Like, let's take all the good stuff of this, but just maybe like focus it a bit. And I'm like, that has to exist already. And I started researching and it didn't exist. And my co-founder, who is also my husband, has built and sold a tech company before and has built many apps. And he said, Jen, he dove into the research and said, there's a real possibility here. Sure. So we dove in, we built our first iteration. We released it. And the first vision was really like, just like that. We joke and we say, it's like healthy TikTok. It was just like a space with a very intentional reason to be there, which is well-being, and just a few more hurdles in place. So there could be less things like fake accounts and troublesome things like that. And then in our first year, we interviewed 100 wellness creators who are these professionals. And when we realized, actually, in one of the conversations with you, I think that was another big aha moment, that we were like, this is really to serve the wellness creator. Like if this thing's going to work, it has to be like the content creators. We have to take really good care of them. Mm-hmm. So 100 interviews later, we realized, we need to have so much more. We need this to be a practice management system and a course creator and CRM and all of these things. So we decided to just be crazy and build like 100 features for them. And this is where we are now. And we have our kind of like our first cohort of wellness creators rolling out in like the next 3 weeks.
Interesting. So yeah, certainly things have evolved since the last time we chatted. It sounds like you're building a turnkey online social portal for a wellness professional and specifically a wellness content creator. Is that a fair assessment?
Exactly. Because a lot of these coaches, and even like before the pandemic, and certainly the pandemic accelerated it, like a lot of them, they moved online, and then a lot of them were working one-on-one, but then a lot of them also created group programs. And I mean, just like Founder Institute, where we met, there's so much power in a community all working towards a similar goal. Right. So they just needed the different features to facilitate that. And the alternative, they were sort of piecing together their businesses with like, well, here's where I do my lead generation, and here's where I build my course. And here, so we kind of like took all of those things and put it together.
Amazing. I mean, can you just say a little bit about, is there a subsegment underneath wellness that you're initially focused on, or where are you seeing the traction in terms of your community?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where's a lot of our initial people? I mean, probably just because at a certain point, like attracts like. So we started off with a lot of just like really health coaches, meditation, movement, like mindfulness, stuff like that. But then I have to say, it's really across the board. I mean, we have like a conflict resolution coach for Asian Americans. We have a post-concussion syndrome coach if you have post-concussive, symptoms and you don't know what to do about them. We have, who are some of our others? We have some that are like business and marketing coaches. We have creativity coaches, style. Like we have
Wow.
express and love yourself through your style. I mean, it's really like,
It really
it's
runs the
so,
gamut.
pardon?
It really runs the gamut. That's interesting.
Yeah, it really runs the gamut because like I think people understand now that wellness is so like holistic now. It really, there's so many different aspects of your life that impact how you feel. You know, I think we used to just think, oh, it's like diet and exercise, but it's also like a lot of career coaches too. Like I don't feel like I'm in the right place. Love coaches. So just helping with these specific areas.
That's really interesting because I had anticipated when I asked you the question that you were going to say, yeah, majority are probably nutrition coaches, but you're right. I mean, wellness is mental wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, professional wellness, relationship wellness, and all of it impacts your health, which is one of the great things I think about digital health is that it's made people realize that the traditional structural borders of healthcare are not complete, and really everything kind of affects how we live. And the other thing that I think is an important clarification is, unlike maybe some other folks that we've talked to, or even people we've had on this podcast, at least today, please tell me if I'm wrong, Blawesome isn't so much like what you might call like a telemedicine marketplace. It's more of a content library, right? So is it that you're,
Totally.
I guess what I'm asking is your platform now, or do you guys envision it facilitating one-on-one conversations, or is it more just kind of public social media posting?
No, a lot of our, I'd say all of our wellness creators have both. Like they have a revenue stream that's really one-on-one. And then they also have group learning, and they also have they make some on-demand content if someone wants to buy a course, as well as live, and they'll often blend it together. So if you buy, so I mean, yeah, certainly we'll be gathering like a huge, and we have like a free version, right? Which is like free content. So it is going to be content library, but we are also driving towards creating those one-on-one, coaching sessions or healing sessions. And that's where we built in all of those features of things that we just saw, that I experienced when I was a customer, as well as working with one-on-one with people, just these kind of little like energy and time sucks, like transcripting. It sounds so simple, when you say it, but it adds up. If you're if you're, self-employed, transcribing the whole session and just like sending the invoice and the contract to begin with, and the testimonial that's attached, like all of these things add up. So just like building in these features to make it easier for the wellness creator or coach to do what they want to do, which is help people.
Yeah, I think there's a tremendous opportunity in tech in general, but especially in industries like this, where you can create a whole step-by-step almost guide or platform towards digitizing a practice that isn't traditionally digital.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of geographic centricity to what you do? Are you focusing on like one particular community, or where has this gone?
I mean, we've been in North America, and a lot are coming through the States, like Canada and the States, of course. Like my network is here in Quebec and Ontario, and then people through California, Austin, like New York State. So
yeah. What about the if you can say or even know, what about the patient side? Where are they coming from?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's from our downloads. Sort of, I guess, the same region, which I guess makes sense because it's where their creators are. But yeah, same idea. Sort of like, and some in Vancouver and BC too. So North America.
Interesting. That's great. What's your current focus right now? What are your objectives for the next couple of quarters or this year?
Yeah, I mean, just this next quarter, we're really like in the next 4 weeks is really the launch of the, what we'd call our learning management system, and getting like all of our wellness creators have been getting their content ready to like sell and market. So that is like, those deadlines when it's like all you can think about, like that's sort of like, I can only really see past the next 3 weeks. And then of course, we started Funding Lab, which is an additional like 30 hours a week of fundraising. So I'm going into that mode again, which I'm excited about.
That's great. Amazing. I love what you guys do. I love the story. I love your energy. And it's amazing when people create companies like this based on their own experiences, as said, well, my work would have been better if I had, something.
Oh yeah.
Else. And I'm feeling that in everything you say about your initiative.
Oh yeah, because there was that experience of being the kind of like the wellness coach myself, but then there was also the time when I like wanted to hire someone, and I'm, like I guess I'm like seasoned in wellness. I've done so
Sure.
many yoga trainings in it, but so I wanted something very specific, like a creativity coach. But
Mhm.
I was like, where do I look? Like, where is that market? Like Googling or like
Yeah.
it always just comes through word of mouth. So my hope is that it really removes a lot of that sort of like the frustration and the finding and the vetting and the Zoom links and like all of those like extra things that just become cumbersome. And I really hope also that for people that are sort of maybe not like maybe intimidated by wellness or don't really understand it, because it isn't a regulated
Yeah.
industry, and that of course has pros and cons. Um, that I hope that it creates sort of a certain level of like trustworthiness and safety with just how we set it up and how we set up the kind of like testimonials and vetting, so that people can feel a bit safer to be like, I'm going to try like I don't know what it'd be, like a meditation class, or I'm going to try this thing that seems that we're like ancestral healing if we're really going out there. There's all sorts of things that work for people, but if you don't like experience it or get a recommendation through a friend, you probably wouldn't think to try it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think opening up access and democratizing this is really important. In
Mm-hmm.
our audience, I'm sure we have wellness professionals. Obviously, we have investors who are interested in companies like this, and those who would be, users of wellness services. Where can people find you? Where should we look?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. You can email me, jen@blawesome.life. And Blawesome is spelled like awesome, but with a BL in front. So like Blawesome. Yeah, that's really the best place. And we are in the app store. So you can download the app and you'll get a message from me. The first message is a bot, but if you respond, I am the person messaging you next. So you
Amazing.
can message me there.
Yeah. Well, everybody download the Blossom app and send
There,
Jen a message. Jen,
there you
thanks
go.
very much. Thanks for joining us today, and good luck with the fundraising and good luck with what will no doubt be an exciting year for you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for these questions today.
Take care. It's good having you on.
Thanks, you too.